Hey everybody, Grant Miller here, Miami Community News. I'm with Guitars Over Gun organization. It's pretty exciting. I've been watching this organization grow over the years. Let's start with you, Chad. Let's talk a little bit about how it started and what's the purpose.
Sure. Well, I'm a musician and have been in Miami for about 20 years, playing in the Spam All-Stars in a band called Suenelo. And I was with a group of those guys that I was invited to a juvenile detention center and did a career day. And
what were you doing for a living at that time?
Full-time musician and a student at University of Miami. And showed up to this career day and had really no idea what to expect. And in that experience, realized the opportunity that as professional musicians we had to use music as this ability to kind of unlock and create space for young people that we were told were unreachable. And since then have been developing a program to put music back into the schools that these, in this case, young men didn't find to be as interesting or effective as they could have been, and provide some opportunities for young people to stay in school and be excited about school and find opportunities to express themselves and safe spaces to understand who they are and their place in the world, and kind of reset the frame for what success can look like for their lives.
How many schools are you guys in?
We're in 19 schools. We have about 27 programs across 19 schools in Miami-Dade.
Pretty exciting. Antonio, what do you do with this organization?
So I'm a programs manager for the southern corridor of Miami-Dade County. So
what do you mean? What's southern to?
Well, it's my northernmost school is Richmond Heights Middle School, and I go all the way down to Homestead High School.
So you go from 152 all the way to Florida City.
Yep.
And what exactly does your job entails?
So I'm kind of the liaison between the principals and all the administrators at the school, and then our mentors. I help set up all the programs. I coach the mentors. I was a mentor myself also last year, and I create the opportunities for the students. We also have Go-Go Studios Homestead, which is a recording studio that we have at Live Like Bella Park down in the south. I run that site.
That's a new park, just opened a couple years ago.
It is, yep. It used to be Leisure Lakes Park, and now it's Live Like Bella. And
named after somebody who passed away in cancer.
That's correct. So I run that space. We have an alumni band down in the south called Atomic Lollipops, which Malik is actually a part of. He's our bass player.
We're going to get to him in a second. Your district is from 152 to Florida City. Mm-hmm. Of the 29 schools, how many are in your district?
I've got 6.
You're well spread out because your district that you're in, that has the most schools in Dade County. Mm-hmm. So your organization spread out really well. How do you pronounce your name exactly?
Malik.
Malik. Now, you grew up in South Dade?
I grew up in Orlando, and then I moved down here. I was born down here, and then
Where's that accent from?
It's just
a Miami accent.
I'm Haitian. My father is
Bonsoir.
Haitian.
Am I close?
No, sort of in the middle.
Okay, close. Yeah. Okay. So you moved down here. You're in high school at South Dade High.
Yes, sir.
A great school.
Yes, sir.
A lot of great things are happening. Other than
school.
The academics are good. Mm-hmm. They have vocational. That's really, I think, more high schools need more of that.
Yep. And the Magnet's the best magnet down here.
And it's agriculture school.
Yes, sir. It's
a well-balanced school. And also, they have 7 years ago, a kid was a senior, nice pitching pros, but we won't get into the baseball team. So you're in 9th grade.
Yes.
Tell us what you do with this organization.
So with Guitars Over Guns, it's amazing. I started last year, and I was in 8th grade at Redland Middle School, so it's right next to South Dade.
Right.
And so I just remember I was never really someone who was nervous to get into anything. My mom always told me, if you want something, go for it. And I remember my teacher, name was Miss Darby. The first day, she was like, "Hey, we're starting this," and I always wanted to play guitar because it's my favorite instrument.
Did you know how to play it?
No, I had no knowledge, no anything. And so I came in fresh mind, clean slate, and I was like, "Man, should I do this?" And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I signed up. I gave her the paper, and the first day I came in, the first mentor I saw, his name is Bryce, and it was almost like I was in a commercial, like. It was almost like it was being advertised. It was huge smiles, and everyone was just so excited, and it made me feel like, man, I should probably tighten up. And it was really, it was cool because I was like, man, like everyone's like, it was like a cartoon. Everyone's so excited, and I'm like, all right, man, I wanna get into it. I wanna learn. So at that point in time, they had three. They had piano. It was piano, singing, and guitar. And I wanted to learn guitar. So we all sat down. They were all there. They were like, hey, Antonio was there, and we were all there, and it was just amazing. They were talking to us about, what the organization is, what they want,
What does this organization mean to you?
To me, Guitars Over Guns it's a beautiful thing to me because...
Has it changed your life?
Yes, it really has. I joined...
And you're so young, so
Yeah.
how could it change it? Tell me what it did.
So I actually joined at a very emotional time in my life. I had lost a friend had passed away. And so joining, it was sort of that friend that's like, hey, this is okay. And it was sort of that hand that reaches out to you and it touches your heart. And so I was there. And for me, what I feel like it means to me, and I'm sure it means for a lot of other kids too, is in life nowadays, especially, the world it can be a very dangerous place, And Guitars Over Guns, I feel like instead of...
Does it put you in a safe spot?
Yes.
Is it? I have to interrupt you. Is it when you're playing with the group, or when you're at home playing the guitar? When you play the guitar, do you feel like you're in a safe spot then?
Yes. Yeah, it's a language that speaks to you because it is. Guitar is a language. Every instrument is a language, and I feel like it speaks to so many kids, especially me, because when I joined, like every day I would go there. I'd always walk in with a smile and come out with a smile every time. As I was learning, and sometimes I wouldn't even notice it. Like, hey, why are you cheesing so hard? Because it's just so.
What do you call it? Cheesing?
Cheesing, yeah, cheesing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just.
Is that a South Dade High slang that I missed out? Okay.
But yeah, I just remember feeling so happy, man, so happy.
Now, I get these questions, but I'm not going to read them. Okay, so when a new person joins,
right,
do you just jump in and help them?
Of course.
Is it beautiful? Do you see it in their faces?
Because when they join, it's so cool because they join kind of coming in with the same face that I had. So I'm like, all right, cool. So when I join and I see everybody else, cheesing and smiling and everything, I'm like, you know what? I want to be this for the person that's joining. So I see them come in, they're kind of nervous, shy, or even if they're the type of person that's extroverted and they're happy, they'll come in. And as I was, they're on a clean slate. So they don't know, too much about any instruments or anything. And so just being able because I see how the mentors go ahead and teach students who don't know anything about the instruments that they've been playing for years. And to see how they reach out and help the students, it's to me, I want to say it's almost unreal because I don't see it anywhere else,
Well, we have a video on them. Can we put it on, Alex?
I feel that mentorship is very important because it's giving opportunities to the students that they would never have, opportunities that us as musicians have never had either.
With Guitars Over Guns in just the 1 year I've been here, I believe in my skill set a lot more than I did before. I'm a lot more confident in myself. Now I feel like there's a whole community around me.
It's about being able to be genuine and be themselves and feel like there are adults in their lives that will not let them down.
We're being listened to and we're being seen by someone, and we're taking someone appreciates us for who we are.
Through music, we create a safe environment for children to express themselves. And that's why I'm so proud of this work every day that I go to work.
Every time I leave from the program or I walk out the doors to school to go home, I always have a smile on my face. And I feel like that's something that everyone just needs,
Everybody's just so happy to come in. It's a totally different experience. We're out there. It's a whole different persona we've taken on, and we're just more confident, and everybody just seems like, they found themselves in a way.
I've seen people who usually are very closed off become very open and enthusiastic and extroverted. And I've just seen people grow more comfortable sharing things about themselves that they usually wouldn't.
The reason I feel you should support Guitars Over Guns because it immediately affects students, the lives, the parents, all of that is just a domino effect.
Just the programs we developed, I think that students really had, and we felt like we needed to be there, and that mutual need created this special community that I think I'm gonna, every year I treasure it as its own experience, and I'm really, really proud of the work that we've done and the work that all of you have done.
Like I said, I feel like youth, anybody, it doesn't even matter what age, just to have someone there for you to help you float sometimes, it's so helpful, and I feel like that's what Guitars Over Guns is to me.
Malik is the kind of guy that is just he's a renaissance man, we'd call him. He's naturally good at pretty much everything he attempts, it seems like to me anyway, in my limited experience,
The most important thing for a young person to feel is love. It's something everyone needs, like even if we don't want it or not.
Yoshi started off as a very quiet young lady who walked into our classroom and had never picked up a guitar in her life. And when we ended the year, Yoshi was on stage playing a real hardcore rock concert.
I just remember walking in and thinking like, ooh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. But then we started the activity, we started writing, I rapped like a 5-second verse that I wrote, and immediately I was like, ooh, never mind, I like this, I'm gonna stay.
My relationship with Atlas, our first year together, has been really cool. I've gotten to experience how talented they are and truly seeing a person blossom right in front of me.
These people don't even know who I am. Like when I would go to like the events that we would go to would be like a whole bunch of go members, and I wouldn't even know them, and they'd come up to me supporting me like 1000%, especially the mentors. Like I've never worked with them, and they're just like, I feel like they're my uncles or something. It's something great to be a part of.
One thing that me and a lot of people that I've realized in the world just need is just to know that someone's there, and to know that you're not alone, like whatever you're going through.
The moment you have people around you telling you that you can do it, that it absolutely is worth trying to do, then all of a sudden you just gain this courage of like, it's worth it. If it doesn't go well, then it didn't go well, but you know what, it's worth a shot.
All right, back. Chad, so I just reading, you have 4 children.
I do.
What is the ages?
My oldest, Jackson, is 8. My daughter, Layla, is 6. And I have twin girls, Cora and Avery, that are 3.
Wow. Busy. You could buy a television. Well, now you need iPads. Okay, so you're one of the co-founders.
Yeah.
And I'm reading about that. One of the greatest shows that I just love is CN Hero. Tell us about that, how you won that award, because it's very few people across the world, across the United States.
It's global. It was in, I think, 2015. I was nominated by a friend and our first executive director, Bianca Caviglia. And we were
Were you
small.
living here then?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were small at that point relative to how big we are now, but it was unbelievable. I mean, it really put us on the map, and for CNN to validate the organization, the work that we were doing at that point really gave people confidence that this is much more than a music program, and really making a solid impact in young people's lives.
Yeah. Who funds this?
We have
And how much is the budget? But let's do it that way.
yeah. So this past year we were at about $3.5 million.
You get any state funds?
State, local, county.
Okay, who's the carrier, I call it, in Tallahassee? Who's your state rep or your state senator? Who's the
So we don't have state funding in Florida. We're also in Illinois. We do have state funding in Illinois. Our largest funder in Florida is the Children's Trust.
and they do a great job.
They do a phenomenal job. They're the largest provider of support for organizations working with children and family.
Yeah, we just did a special section on them, and they've done a great job. And all right, so we're gonna get back to you. You were the keynote speaker at last year's graduation
Yep.
of the Guitars Over Guns.
Yep.
You're like at 13, 14 years old.
I was 14 at the time. Yes, I was 14 years old.
So these are your peers you're talking in front of.
So you see, it was some. Actually, that was like the smallest portion. It was about maybe 5 to 7 people that I really like knew, and everyone else were people that I have met in just that day. And the cool thing about Guitars Over Guns is I said it during when I was speaking. I was like, I thought I would be nervous coming up here, but I'm not, because it feels like I'm talking in front of my family, And
I think that's part of what this process is.
Yeah.
Guitars over guns, teaching how you learn how to instrument, you get mature and you can talk in front of people.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? 5 years, 10
5
years?
years?
Well, 4 years you're going to be graduating high school.
Right.
Do you have plans to go to college?
Yes.
Do you have choices right now that you'd like to go to?
After high school, I'm going to go to California to pursue acting, because one main reason, there's 2 reasons. One, I love acting in general, and 2 is because I want to get to a position or platform where I can inspire and enlighten people. And
Okay, so in 4 years now, you plan to go to any education?
California.
Or you just going right to California?
California to pursue acting, right to California to pursue acting.
Well, the weather's there. If you're in LA, it's just like this.
Yeah.
The only difference between that, LA, and Miami, we have 3 million. They have 30 million.
Yeah.
30. So so there's no such thing as transportation or traffic problem, because there's no moving. The traffic does not move. Okay, so before you got involved with this guitar organization, did you know anything about it?
Before, actually, no. When I joined Redland and I figured out about the talents program through school, it was my first time learning about it. And that's why it was so cool, because I love the name, Guitars Over Guns. It's like, it's good over bad. You're trying to add light to darkness.
The word guns is not guns to me. It's just bad stuff.
Yeah.
Guitars over drugs, guitars over guns, guitars over, there's a lot of issues.
Yeah, it's the embodiment of negativity. That's
Say that again?
It's the embodiment of negativity.
And how old are you again?
15.
Say it again. It's a great one. Say it again.
It's the embodiment of negativity.
Right. And this is what I think happens
Yes,
to people. So, who are some of your mentors not in Guitars Over Guns? Do you have any? And then that's one question. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
In your organization, Go, are there certain mentors that you just worship?
So to answer your first question, out of Guitars Over Guns, I have one, and it's my dance teacher. His name is Jamie Wolford. And in Guitars Over Guns, definitely, I learned how to play bass from my mentor. His name is Joel. And he's an extremely funny dude. And he's really, really cool.
How old is he?
He's, how old is Joel?
In his late 20s.
Late 20s, yeah. And then there's 2 more. Antonio, of course. I remember our first day coming in, he was one of those people with the huge, cheeses. And I was there and I was so happy. And Bryce was the other one that was there. Bryce, he taught me, he's actually the first one that I've met that just kind of welcomed me into Guitars Over Guns. So yeah, it's definitely those 3 mentors.
Do we have any more video? Let's get another video. Are we okay? We're gonna get there.
So,
Mom,
honestly,
we got it.
I'm
We're gonna talk about.
Nervous coming up here, but this is my family, so I'm not. I think we can all agree that we've been through a very tough time, and however, from what I've seen Go accomplish, I know we should be excited for what the future has to convey to us. The second I walked into this program, I felt the comforting energy of my mentors, the smiles residing on my classmates' faces, and I'm so glad to be a part of this program. I knew I had to stay. This program has changed my life, and I'm certain that it has made an impact on others' lives too. This year I had lost someone who was like a brother to me. Through all of this, Go was like a place of peace for me. It was somewhere I felt safe, and every time I walk out of the doors to my classroom, there's always a bright smile on my face. In case any of you have been wondering, the instrument I play is guitar. What made me fall into a deep connection with this instrument is the language that it speaks to me. Every time I hear a chord be played, it pulls the strings to my heart and tells me that I want to learn that language. This day and age, sometimes all one needs is to express themselves. Guitars over guns is not just a place of skill or precision or technique, it is a place of communication. It is a place of honor to languages. And I feel like in life, especially this day and age, that is what one needs is just to get what they feel out there, like I'm doing now. This program does not cease to amaze me, and it never ceases to lead me to believe that it is a great addition to this world, to this planet, and I'm so glad that I'm actually standing up here right now.
Some more questions, Antonio. Mentoring, that's part of your job.
Yep.
Did you have a mentor when you were younger?
No, actually, I didn't. Thinking back, and it's something I thought of too when I became a mentor, and this job really started to like fill my soul. I was thinking back, and I just tried to be the mentor I didn't have when I was young.
Feel like you're changing lives?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you see it?
Yes, absolutely.
Pretty incredible.
It is. It's amazing. Now I'm exposed to way more students than I was when I was a mentor at just To The Sights, because now with the studio and all the other programs that we work with, that I have touch points with, I'd see probably about 100, 120 students. And
in what period of time?
Over the last school year. And then that doesn't even take into account the students that I meet when we do our spring break video shoots and stuff like that, where we bring all of the Go-Go students together for spring break to do a music video.
How many locations are there? Like you have one at Sunset Place. No, you don't.
No, not Sunset Place.
You have 19 schools.
We have 19 schools. We have the Live Like Bella studio site, where we also hold sessions for the students that are part of the after-school program there at Live Like Bella. We have 2 park programs, one at Gwen Cherry and one at Wilbur Bell. So there's...
You have programs in the rooms.
Yeah, at the parks.
Altogether, there's about 27 programs across 19 different schools and a handful of community sites.
Well, we got one of the founders, fundraising. You're on a fundraising right now, right?
Yep.
You need to raise $6,000 for what?
We had 10 students that were accepted to Interlochen Camp.
Where's that?
It's in Michigan. It's an incredibly prestigious program that I looked up to when I was an aspiring young musician in high school. It's a really big deal to get accepted, so we're raising money for scholarships.
When you say school, is that part of the regular education, or is it just free music?
So Interlochen is a school year-round, but they have a really remarkable summer camp. It's an incredible model that we aspire to musically and artistically. We had 7 students that were accepted into the music program and 3 students that were accepted into the art program, another student that was accepted into the Grammy camp. We're raising scholarships for those students.
And how much does that camp cost?
The students got some financial aid, but we have about $6,000 left to go to make sure that every student that got accepted has the
And they
opportunity
stay how
to
long?
go. It's a 2-week program?
3.
3-week program?
3-week
Depending,
program.
yeah.
Exciting.
Grammy camp's 2 weeks.
It's exciting. So it's not music 724.
No, this is oftentimes the first time that our students have been on a plane, been out of the state, and staying in a beautiful place in the middle of the woods in Michigan, amongst other young people that are expressing
Aspiring.
themselves and learning their craft. Yeah, it's life-changing.
So I know I asked you, but I already forgot. How did this start and why?
So I mentioned a little bit about the juvenile detention center, but to Antonio's point, those of us whose lives have been changed or saved in some cases by music all understand the power, the transformational power of music and what it can mean for understanding who we are, what we have to say in this world, what value we have. And we all get to be that individual to pour into a young person to give them that same experience. And the moment that kind of clarified all that, as a musician, I've lived my life wanting to be in that kind of sacred space between the stage and the audience, where that energy between the exchange lifts you into this this space where time doesn't exist. When I was in that juvenile detention center, I realized that is a transferable thing, and it changed my life forever. Into trying to understand how to provide that space and those opportunities to young people, because I know what it did for my life, and I saw at the time, 15, 20 years ago, music getting taken out of the schools or deprioritized, and that just wasn't something I could walk away from.
So, the Latin funk I read, what was that?
That's the style of music that I've fallen in love with moving to Miami. I think
It's a little different than Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago is where I kind of sowed my roots of jazz and blues, and the role that the trombone, which is my instrument, plays in those styles of music. That combined with all the kind of flavor down here in Miami and that Latin funk stuff and the bands that I was playing in at the time helped define that sound of Miami.
We do have our own sound.
Absolutely. We have our own a lot of things.
Yeah, right.
But one of them is definitely the sound of Miami, which for at least a long time we contributed to that being
So
Latin funk.
you played the trumpet.
Trombone.
When Bill Clinton played it, didn't he play the trombone?
Saxophone.
Sax. To me, it was like, wow. It's like when people that level play, it says music's for everybody. So, any other presidents in the United States play any instruments?
Obama just stopped by the studio in Chicago not too long ago.
Hey, Brock, come on in. Wait. Did anybody know he was showing up?
A few of the staff did, but it was a complete surprise to all the students. And we've been working with the Obama Foundation and the My Brother's Keeper initiative since 2018. And it was honestly one of the best days of my life. He walked into the Haven studio, which was founded by one of our staff members, Andre Daniels, and Dennis Thompson, and it was the surprise of a lifetime for our young people. And I think we actually have some video of that.
Can we get? All right, producer, we got you.
It was a big surprise. These young men were trying to play it cool, but it definitely was a big surprise. They were here for a recording session when the former president dropped in to see what they were up to. There were about a dozen aspiring rappers gathered for a typical session in the basement of Mount Pisgah Church when the former President Barack Obama joined them. The organization, called Guitars Over Guns, with about 90 participants at this Bronzeville location, teens to young adults, making music and learning about the music industry, all the while staying focused on their futures and off the streets in the afternoons when can be very dangerous. Guitars Over Guns has received a grant from the Obama Foundation, My Brother's Keeper Alliance, and the Alliance is offering grants to organizations that inspire young people, a new generation. And this, of course, is part of the former president's mission to reduce gun violence.
You guys not only have talent and heart, but I really like the community you guys have built. And the community you form, and the support that you give each other, and the reinforcement, that's something that'll carry you a long way.
It's just like when you starstruck, it seemed normal. I know in an hour I'm gonna feel it. Like, oh my God, I just saw the president.
Obama did a sneak attack behind us. Like I lost my nerves. I won't even lie. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say.
Now, over the next few weeks, My Brother's Keeper Alliance will be handing out grants for this summer, $30,000 for each organization. Guitars Over Guns among the applicants this year. They hope to expand hours this summer, maybe even adding Saturday hours. And certainly that is what's most important to these young people here. Several of them expressed how this is truly a safe haven from what is happening in their lives and in their communities. And hopefully, the former president said he'll be looking for these artists and hopes to add them to his playlist someday.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.
So Chad, mental health issues are coming across adults, kids, and since COVID, there's more awareness as it. Do you see that in your program? Do you have programs to help these kids?
Absolutely. I mean, I think mental health has always been out there. We're just starting to recognize it and ask for it and advocate for it in a different way. And I think young people are leading that charge right now, which is a really impressive thing to see. We launched a mental health program in January of 2020.
Where?
Under the leadership of Natasha Santana Vera within Guitars Over Guns.
Is that all of the country or just Florida?
It started in Florida, and we're branching it out to Chicago now, but have had some incredible support from Florida Blue to build out an innovative way to approach mental health for young people. And it's really been an incredible experience for us to let the young people lead and advocate for what, what they need to be successful in the world. And a lot of it comes down to, being safe internally and externally.
Absolutely. Both makes it work. We're going to each do a wrap up. Tell us how long you've been there. I know you're going to be there eternity.
Yes.
Tell me some great things that are happening to you because of GoGo.
Well, I've been with GoGo now going to my second year, 1 year as a mentor and now a year as a programs manager. And it has given me the opportunity to work with amazing students like Malik, but more importantly, to create opportunities for them, performance opportunities to grow the community. I live in the Homestead community. I'm part of that community, so I'm doing everything I possibly can to make that community as strong and as have it thrive as much as possible. So I'm vested in what I do, and
you're invested in your community. You're invested in this career. It's not a job; it's a career.
I'd say it's more of a calling than anything. When I started at GoGo, I was going to school for psychology, and it made me change my career path completely because it opened my eyes and my world to something I didn't know existed, and to be able to take something I love like music and have it change these young people's lives the way that it did for me when I was young, because it was my haven. To be able to share that with these students really made a difference in my life, and I there's no going back at this point. I mean, I don't work a day of my life because I do this, and it's just my life, and I enjoy it. I love it, and I'm passionate about it.
Your first, I don't know, you don't call them clients, you call them members?
The students? The mentees?
What do you call it?
Mentees.
Mentees. Do you remember the first one?
Yeah, I remember our first class vividly. It was pretty amazing. So some of those young people are still around, serving on our board, serving on our staff.
Can you feel that you save lives?
I like to think that we...
And I don't mean physically, I mean mentally and physically.
I like to think that we open the door and help young people realize what they're capable of, what their potential is, and how aware they are of walking into that. And holding that space for young people is incredible. It's an absolute gift. I think back to that expression, what will you do with your one wild and precious life? And I think the thing that really makes me feel good is that my kids get to grow up watching me live into something that is purpose-filled and that I'm passionate about, and that I feel like I get to pay for it because it was given to me.
Great. Malik, in 1 minute, I want to hear the good things Guitars Over Guns done to you, and what will you do with it, and are you going to help people?
Gotcha.
Is it changing people's lives? Can you feel it?
I can feel it right now. I feel like jumping out of my seat. Guitars Over Guns, all the good things about it, it's really everything. Like I said, just good over the embodiment of all the negativity. It shows, like Chad was saying, it shows kids, and not even just kids, it shows everyone what they can be capable of, and not just anything, how much light they can put into this world, And my goal was always what it was, but joining Guitars Over Guns has reiterated it even more for me, that it's my purpose, This is something I have to do, I have to enlighten people. And I really do respect what Chad said. He's right. Like, a lot of people live day to day and they don't realize how beautiful, life is. Just even seeing something as simple as the sunrises and sunsets, like
sunrise.
Yeah.
Sunset.
Okay. Exactly.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same wavelength.
Yes, sir.
It's really exciting because I've watched Guitars Over Guns grow and not knowing exactly all the details. in the last couple of years, you've been doing a more of a marketing campaign for people to understand that you're changing lives. So thank you for the three of you. And you're one of these people that could change. You follow. People are going to follow your example, and you're going to change a lot of lives.
Yes, sir.
We have the ticket right there, guitarsoverguns.org. You want to donate money, you want to know more information. Have a great day, everybody. Grant Miller here. Have a great day.